feel to get back today?
That was awesome. A lot of fun.
Were you?
Ever worried? No.
Yeah, I mean the issue. There were a lot of people around you worried though.
Was it though? No, we had it all under control.
Is it something that happened in practice? Like, do you just kind of tweak something, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was what Travis said. That's what we're going to go after. I've known him for a little while now, and he now doesn't lie.
In terms of preseason, just how important is it to take care of yourself so you're ready for the regular season when it comes?
It doesn't matter if it's preseason or off-season, whichever season it is. It's still as important as it is at playing in season. So you don't want to change anything. You want to keep your mind sharp. You want to keep your body sharp. Doing what's right every single day, and that goes for now as well.
When you plan to play a preseason game?
When I'm playing,
When do you plan to play one? Do you know?
I think it's up to Travis to have that conversation with you guys. And I'm not the one that's deciding when to play or not. I'm not in a position to do that. That's for the coach to decide.
Had you though been on the like Travis said he thought you had skated on like when did you go back on the ice? I think Travis said he thought you skated Sunday.
Buddy, I don't even know what day today is.
Okay.
So I can't remember which one we came back to. But I've been on the ice skating in the morning, so we've kept everything sharp. So it hasn't been that I've been off the ice for 4 days or anything like that.
Are you going to need a few practices now though before you do play Linus?
No, I feel good now.
Okay.
I'm excited to go out there. Put on the Ottawa Senators sweater for the first time. Something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully it's going to be tomorrow.
What were you working on? I know you and a couple other goalies were out at practice earlier today. What were the kind of things you were working on just to get prepared?
Just kind of like staying engaged, staying in control of situations when it comes to the rotations work. We've been talking a lot about that, me and Peters. A little bit more emphasis on which part of the body that goes first, and just trying to get a good feel for it and don't cheat.
Is there something that's worked for you in the preseason in the past that's really set you up well for the regular season?
Which?
In terms of practicing, playing in games, just when you were with Boston?
I mean, in Boston, we had less games. If I understood correctly, I think we have 7 here now, and together with the Kraft Hockeyville game. And at that point, when you go down to like 6 games, there's only so many games you can play. You can't put a goalie in there for 3 games and hugging almost every single one of them. So it's different here. We have the luxury of having more games that you can play more goalies at a different time, so you can split the share a little bit.
One thing Tyler Kleven was talking about when he was just in here was your communication. If there's a 2-on-1, you're talking to the defenders. How are you trying to build that rapport with all these new players on a new team?
I'm trying to stay open, open-minded. Always have a little bit of a serious note to it, but also, I'm not afraid to chirp the forwards as well. But it's important as much as people tend to focus on the negative things out there. You have to acknowledge the good things as well, and that's what I'm trying to do. We have a lot of young, promising players as well that. For some, it's their first camp. For some, there's 5th camp or whatever it is. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. There's always that little nerves in the beginning, and if I can help them feel a little bit more comfortable, and when it comes to what they're doing, and try to raise their confidence, I'm all for it.
So is it more chirping or more positive right now?
It depends on who it is. If it's the forward or D-man.
Curtis Joseph said once, so when I think he had made the switch from Edmonton to Detroit, and he said that was the biggest adjustment was communication. Do you think that is it that difficult to get down the communication when you've been in one place for 3 years? Or?
It all depends on what kind of a personality you have and how they've utilized their own voice. We try to keep it, lighthearted but serious, like I said, and I have to show the way it's supposed to be done from my side, because I'll see the ice at every angle. I'm always in the back. I can see the ice in a different perspective than the D-man can. Sometimes they just kind of have to focus solely on the puck, and then it's my job to communicate, saying, hey, you might have to go there or back off or far side. Sometimes you get lost when you're playing there. So for me at least, that's the type of thing that keeps my mind sharp as well, because on that I acknowledge that there is a threat back door, that even though if I say it to my D-man, I'm still going to know he's there, instead of me being quiet, then it might just kind of trickle out in the sand and all of a sudden I forget that he's there.
And Linus, would you say you're 100% right now?
No, definitely.
Camp so far and just how it's been feeling out there.
Yeah, I think just getting back in the swing of things, just trying to play my game out there, and there's definitely going to be some kinks in the game playing against the Maple Leafs, but just trying to work those out in the video room and in practice here, and just trying to be ready as I can for the season.
When you looked at the lineup ahead of training camp, what was your mindset coming in terms of what you could accomplish this year?
Yeah, I think that I just wanted to come in, play my game, just let the rest of the stuff worry about itself. I can't really control where I'm placed, but I can control how hard I work and just what I do on the ice, and I'll let the rest play itself out.
That being said, though, did you sense that there was a spot, in that third pair D spot that could be yours?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the lineup and you see where you kind of fit in the lineup, and I think that that's kind of the spot that I'm looking at, and I'm going to do everything I can to contribute to the team, and I want that spot. So,
Tyler, how does your style of play maybe fit into Coach Green's demands, or what he expects out of players?
Yeah, I think that he expects a lot of everyone every day. Coming to the rink and being a pro. I think that my physicality is something that he wants me to have on this team, and I can contribute. And I got to bring it every game, and I think that's how he wants me to play.
Knowing there was a potential spot for you, did your summer change at all and how you approached it?
I mean, I work as hard as I can every summer, do what I need to do to become ready for the season, and did the same thing. Went back to Fargo and trained with the guys at Moorhead, and I came out here a couple weeks early too. Trained with Tony Greco and Claude Giroux, and I think that they got me ready for the season, and also the training staff out here worked with them a lot, and also the coaching staff out here. So I think I've done a lot this year to prepare myself for that third line role, and I just got to let the rest play itself out.
We hear a lot about how Claude trains, but as a guy who trained with him, can you just describe his work ethic?
He's an animal. He's an absolute animal. He brings it every single day. He's one of the best pros I've seen. And I just try to replicate that as much as I can. He's played in the league for 18 years, and there's a reason why he's so good. It's because of his work ethic and all the time that he spends in the gym and all that kind of stuff. So being around him is I've definitely learned a lot, and I'm thankful for him to allow me to train with him.
A lot of guys have to adjust their game when they get to the professional level. It seems like a lot of the things that are asked of guys when they get to this level, you've already got in your game, like especially the kind of conscience in your own end, the physical part of it. Is that something that you've kind of been doing your whole life?
Yeah, I think so. I've always been a physical player. I haven't been the most offensive player my whole life, and just trying to own my role as a shutdown guy, and I like that defensive part of my game. And through the national team and North Dakota and Belleville last year, I've worked on my defensive game and trying to work on my offense too, but just working on my game all around, and just doing the best I can to help the team win this year.
Is there a more physical element to this camp than the previous camps you've attended?
I think that this year there's definitely an extra step extra jump in everyone's step. Everyone's fighting for a spot. There's no one's really safe unless you have a big contract. So I know that everyone's fighting for a role and everyone wants to be on the team. So it's definitely been a competitive camp.
I know he missed a couple of practices, but what are your first impressions of Linus Ullmark and just how he changes the dynamic of this team?
Oh, he's awesome. Just the way that he talks on the ice too, like on 2-on-1s, just letting us know where to take, and just the communication part's awesome, and he's a massive body in net, and I haven't scored a lot of goals on him yet, but it's great to have him back there.
One of this team's problems last year was keeping the puck out of the net. How do you see yourself being able to kind of maybe be part of the solution to keep that down?
Yeah, like I said, I'm a defensive defenseman, so my job is to keep pucks out of the net, and I think that I can break out efficiently and try to stay in the O zone as much as we can and block shots and just push guys out of the front of the net so that Ullmark can see the puck and that's a game that I like, and I think that's what I'm good at too. So.
With a potential spot in the top 6, do you put pressure on yourself, or is it important to kind of just like go out and let things happen?
Yeah, I think like I said, I just got to play my game. I've worked my whole life for this position, and I know what I'm good at, and I know that I can help the team out, and I just got to go out there and play my game.
How are you doing? We saw you last night in the game leave a bit early. Just maybe walk us through what happened.
Yeah, it was obviously a different play. I wasn't really ready for what was happening. I'm not really sure. I haven't really got a good look at the video yet, but just a different play, and obviously just cautious on returning in the game.
How did you feel today in practice?
I felt fine out there, so yeah, good to go.
A lot of questions about your teeth. Are your teeth intact?
Yeah, my teeth are all good. Yeah.
Pretty dirty play.
Haven't really looked at the video yet. Not really sure what he was doing, but just an unfortunate play.
Is it when you play the Leafs that even if it's in preseason that there's maybe a little bit more kind of animosity between the two teams?
Maybe a little bit. It's the Maple Leafs, so I think any team playing them has a little bit more energy maybe, or it's a big rivalry for us being the Sens, so yeah.
Have you wondered if there's still a target on your back for what happened last year?
Maybe. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I've moved on from the situation, so yeah.
Are you excited to see perhaps playing on Cousins and Perron on the line, where we consider you all to be agitators?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun last night in the first period. I think we had a solid period. I think we can provide energy for the team and everything, so it was a lot of fun last night for sure.
Looking forward to building off that and the chemistry that can be developed?
Yeah, no doubt. I've spent a couple practices with them now, and they're a couple older guys, so I can learn a lot from them too.
What have you learned so far?
Just their demeanor. Learning from Perron, he's talking to me a lot just about certain plays, and just playing as a line together with him. So he's really talkative on the bench too. So it's just nice to have that guy around who has a lot of games played in this league. I'm sure I'll continue to learn from him.
There were some battle drills today, and I feel like you and Drew always get kind of chippy at them. How is it going against him sometimes at practice?
Yeah, he's a pretty strong guy, so we got into it there a little bit today. But it's just fun in games. It's good to compete.
Do you think he's a little extra fired up given the fact that he got a parcel last night?
Maybe he was. Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation. But yeah, maybe he was.
Is this the most physical camp you've been a part of?
It's definitely up there. There's a lot of compete. Greener's been talking about winning lanes and puck battles, so that's a big thing he's been talking about, and hopefully that'll continue into our game.
No need for an update on Ridly Greig, I guess. Zoo not on the ice today.
Yeah, he's kind of been struggling with an injury, lower body injury. He's getting it checked out and should have some news later today.
Nice to see Linus back on the ice, obviously, as well.
Great to see, yeah. But he looks sharp. It's not like he hasn't been skating, so he looked good today.
Is there a secret sauce to winning hockey games in this league?
If there was, I think everyone would be trying to get it. There's a lot of things that go into winning games. It's a long, long list.
Maybe back to Ullmark. Do you expect him to play this week? Or?
I do, yeah. I do expect him, potentially.
How does he change the dynamic of practice when he's out there?
He works. He's a leader. You can tell he's focused. He's dialed in. I think for a goalie, for me, like the best way they can lead during the practice is how hard they compete on the puck and trying to stop every puck. And I think the best goalies are ultra competitive. They know how to control their competitiveness, and they work. They work hard.
A couple players, Tyler Kleven, they were talking about how much he communicates to them in front and defense, just like,
Yeah.
Get out of my way, I want to see the puck.
Yeah.
How common is that for goalies to do?
Well, I think the elite guys, they're dialed in. They're focused. They know what they want from their defensemen, and they bring it in practice. They don't go out there and just go through the motions.
Is that when you kind of switch organizations, you think, Travis, is that one of the biggest adjustments for the goalie is making sure that he's got communication with the people in front of him? And
Yeah, understanding the D zone coverage, but also, he's got different players in front of him, their tendencies. I think that would be one of the bigger things for a goalie.
Maybe on kind of defense itself.
Sorry.
How important is physicality in terms of defending in your mind? Because, I've just around kind of during training camp, you kind of talk to players about kind of being physical. Like, how important is that for defense?
Well, players are quick, and, you've got to protect your net. You got to protect the middle of the rink. Physicality is a big part of defending. Protecting the middle of the ice, not giving up inside ice, and how you do that. There's different techniques, and there's lots of different systems that play. 2, 3, 4 different systems, D zone coverage, but teams have won with all of them, and it's just a commitment to doing it.
Has the physicality of this camp met your expectations or even perhaps exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, it's met them for sure. Guys are, you can see today, they were not afraid to get after it. We've done a lot of one-on-one battles, and not just one-on-one. We're doing a lot of actual techniques as far as how do you win a battle, and starting from the ground floor up. I do believe the puck battles are a big part when you talk about recipe to winning. It's a big part of winning in today's hockey game.
You emphasize shift length as well. You did the drills today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shift length changes. Little details within your changes.
In the days and weeks and months to come, what do you hope to instill in this hockey team and the players that you hope translates into success?
Well, a lot of those little details and the commitment, not just the commitment to playing a 200-foot game, but understanding it and being able to perform that part of the game. Starting to build an identity, how we want to play, how we want to be perceived, but also with inside our room, the culture that we want to have is, it's a bit of a buzzword, but it's, what you do on a daily habits, daily traits that ultimately make up your culture.
How much of that maybe, talk about culture and coming in to Ottawa, how much is it maybe you've seen that transition in the culture over training camp so far?
It takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. Even today, just making sure you work through a drill where you get it almost perfect, but you don't quite focus to the end, and it's not done right. And I think good teams do that. They make sure it's done the right way and right through drills, and they're focused every drill. They understand the importance of why you're doing a drill, and they understand the importance of certain parts of the rink. And I think bringing in some of the guys that have won have helped us. I hear them already. I think that just a couple mature guys is helping.
2 victories to open the preseason, accomplished in different ways, 6-5 overtime, 2-1. Is the 2-1 more the style you want the team to play, kind of a little bit grinding and defensively conscious? As a coach, is that 1-0 and 2-1 and those kind of games? Is that what you're looking for?
I'm looking to win, no matter how you need to get it done. But I like that we stuck with the game yesterday, and it was not a wide open game. And a lot of times, teams, when it's not wide open, they don't feel comfortable in that type of game, and they want it to be wide open. And I get it. You can want to play back and forth hockey, but that usually doesn't mean winning hockey. And if the other team is checking well, you might give up a chance. I'd rather win 5-1 than 2-1 if that's what you're asking. But you've got to win close games. You have to feel comfortable in those type of games as well, and that's part of maturing as a younger team.
Talking about maturing, is that with maybe your younger players maybe not riding the highs and lows as much and being consistent and being where they kind of...
Yeah, I think in whatever you do in life, not getting too upset about things or too excited about things is important to an even keel. But definitely in our sport, you're going to have times where you're going to play well and lose as well. And you're going to have a good game and things aren't going to go well, and you have to understand that, and you still got to reset. We want a team that has really a win-the-day mentality, get something out of every day, and whether you win or lose.
When you talk about development and culture, when you come to a new team like this, and you walk into the room and you've already got a Claude Giroux in there,
Yeah.
and just his presence, is he almost like a second coach or an assistant?
A little bit. I think you see that around the league when you have older guys on the team that have been through a lot of different things. They are a big part of your leadership group. Obviously, Claude is one of those guys, and just when your team gets a little older, there are more voices in the room that have experience and understand, what it takes to win. And there's a lot that goes into winning in the NHL. It's not easy.
A lot of coaches and even players say that training camp can get mundane because of the repetition. Going to Hockeyville on Sunday, is that kind of like a little bit of a break?
That'll be exciting. I know personally I've never done one of those games. I'm sure a lot of our players haven't either. And you go the night before. It's more like a road trip, and it's not the regular grind of a training camp. So it'll be a nice break for us, for our group.
Kind of a crappy day for Giroux, with his car. How do you get to practice? Like, how do you manage that distraction?
Yeah, obviously he's not upset about it, or he is upset about it. But when you're in a locker room, there's usually guys find ways to make a joke about it and get him through the day. I think he'll be fine.